across the state. Officials and referees are needed for all different types of high school sports. And with seasons already underway, KHSAA says that it's important to recognize these issues. Some people, like KHSAA Commissioner Julian Tackett, says if you don't have referees, it's just recess.
You have to have some structure to the contest, and we have thousands of people around the state that sign themselves up as officials and do a great job, and certainly we need more. We're at a time where we're losing officials, so we'll continue those recruiting efforts.
He says last year the number of referees for soccer bottomed out, but they're starting to see a bounce back this year. Over at the Lexington Youth Soccer Association, grassroots director Todd Brett says while the sport grows, so does the need for officials.
The quality and the speed of the game has gotten so much better. So it's also finding really high quality officials. That's become a real challenge.
According to KHSAA's website, there are 528 licensed soccer officials across the state. To work in sports like this, Tackett says it comes down to one important factor.
The environment, the hostility seems to be the number one reason we're told people are walking away.
And right now, KHSAA officials say that there is still a big shortage of basketball officials, but they're hopeful that in the upcoming months, they could fill a few of those gaps. In Lexington, Julia Sandor, WKYT.